Well, the Premier League schedule was released a few weeks ago, so we're going to take a look at that tonight. And the Euros are in full swing. We're into the round of 16, so let's check out what's going on there. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're tuning in from. Thanks for listening. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from three friends who support different leagues. But of course, we're in the summer right now. The Premier League's not going on. So we've got some other things that we're going to talk about. We are going to talk about the Premier League schedule today. We'll talk about the Euros. But first, let me introduce these gentlemen. Of course, to my left, I guess he's that way now. Or maybe he's my right. I don't know. I got my things turned around. I'm coming to you live from Stamford Bridge, actually, from London.
Yeah.
It's
amazing.
It's at KS Brad G, our local Chelsea supporter. Down below us is still at White Hart Sean, our Tottenham Hotspur supporter.
Coming to you from the closet.
That's what it looks. I didn't want to call your closet out, man.
It's fitting. You could call it Tottenham's trophy closet.
I was going to say this is where our trophies hang.
Oh man,
because it's empty. But hey, you could put a poster like this up.
Oh man,
there we go. The Audi Cup, babe.
For everybody on our podcast, I just played a Audi logo in the background. You guys really should check out the YouTube. It's when you're gonna get all the laughs.
But I'm James Tiffany. I'm an Arsenal supporter, and unfortunately in charge of keeping these two on track. But yeah, so that's what we're doing today. We're going to talk about a little bit about the Premier League schedule. We're going to only talk about like the first 6 weeks or so through the end of September. It could get kind of long if we talked about the entire schedule. So we'll just talk about the first 6 weeks or so. And then we're going to talk about the Euros. It's been 2 weeks since we were last on, and the group stages have finished, and we are well into the round of 16 at this point. We've had 3 full days of round of 16 matches, and tomorrow we'll conclude the round of 16. But before we do that, as we are accustomed to doing, first thing we want to talk about, if you guys are listening on our podcast sites, please subscribe, rate us. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, comment, share it with a friend wherever you're at, interact with us on our social medias, on comments, whatever, however you want to contact us, please definitely interact with us.
And if you don't, I hope you hit a pothole that doesn't hurt your car very much, but it scares you. So it's just an inconvenience.
He wants you to be mildly inconvenienced.
Yeah. I don't want your car to be screwed up. But if you don't rate, review, then I want you to be scared at least
of potholes.
Buy a pothole. I want you to be jolted.
All right. So we're going to jump into our comments from our last episode. Will, our resident Juventus supporter, had a few comments for us.
Who Ventus?
Yep. That
Ventus.
That Ventus.
Oh, okay.
He disagreed slightly, I think, with my
comment.
What did
he Ventus say?
He disagreed slightly with my comment about how you can't be a financially responsible club and compete at the highest level. He took a little bit of disagreement with that. He thought that you'd be disadvantaged against the PSGs, the Man Cities, but if you combined good management of like a Leicester City or an Atalanta and the finances of a Tottenham, Arsenal, or Juventus, and a bit of luck, you could make it happen. And I don't think that's necessarily counter what I was saying, but I think if you are relying on luck at least a little bit, then maybe you're not actually competing. I don't know. He had another comment. He had one more comment. This one was a little bit more biting, I would say.
Who's biting?
This is directed at you, Sean.
I thought it might be.
Yeah. He said,
what?
He said, still no Tottenham manager. But hey, they hired Juventus's discarded sporting director. Yeah. So Sean, what's going on, man? What? Last week we were certain. 2 weeks ago we were certain you guys had a manager, and then he got chopped off by Levy. Levy chopped his head off, apparently.
Listen, we are a team that cannot be bound by the silly limits of a manager. All right, we're not even gonna have one. We're just gonna roll the 11 out. The 11 that go on the field are the ones that win the fist fight in their locker room. Eric Dyer's definitely starting every game.
Eric Dyer starts every game. Dele Alli
yes, absolutely.
Dele Alli doesn't even show up to the stadium.
He's not even coming.
Yeah.
We're just whoever wants to be in the starting 11 it's probably going to be Ryan Mason. Let's be honest. At this point,
I mean, Sam.
If it's Big Sam, I will eat something disgusting on this podcast.
Let's do it. I'm here for that.
I don't know. Y'all actually, yeah. Podcasts or YouTube people pick something really gross that's not toxic, like a gross food, and I'll eat it.
If Big Sam is hired, you'll eat it.
Yeah. Yep.
It should be something supremely British.
All right, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Beans on toast. I don't know. Whatever.
Beans on toast actually doesn't sound bad though.
No, I'd like to eat that right now. That's why I suggested it.
But that was all the comments we had. I do think it's absolutely hilarious that Tottenham cannot.
It's just comical now.
Lead them, like I don't.
We cannot be bound by the you simpletons with managers. We are leaderless. We are men who lead themselves. It's noble.
Sure. Whatever
we don't need a manager.
Is the chicken gonna be in charge?
There ain't no chicken.
It's a chicken. He sits on a ball.
That is a regal rooster.
Chicken.
I would call
regal rooster. I would call it by its other name, but this is a family podcast.
I would. This is definitely not a family podcast. I would think it's going to be the plumber for the Toilet Bowl Stadium, but maybe just for home games.
I thought that's what was behind you.
All right, let's get back on track real quick. Let's talk about the Premier League schedule. Of course, the first 6 weeks that we're talking about. So we're going to talk about August and September. Kind of like what we're doing, who our teams are playing, and things like that. Does anyone want to start? Who wants to start?
I got it.
Sean, tell us about Tottenham's first 6 weeks.
So it's tough. I see realistically. We're going to start with either 10 or 11 points.
Okay, that seems pretty good. How many games? 6 games?
6 games.
Okay, that's not as good.
No, it's not good. Because we start out Man City. We're not winning that.
No,
first game. Go ahead.
No, my bad. I misquoted. You're good. Keep going.
Are you home or away?
We are home against Man City.
That's not bad.
Start out, man. It doesn't matter. We are going to get probably destroyed. It's either going to be a new manager or no manager. First game, new players, going to get destroyed. And then we have Wolves away. Probably should win that. We should win that. Watford home should win that. Palace away. That's a dogfight. And then we've got
for some reason.
Like every damn time. I don't understand it. But we should win that. So there's our 9. And then we've got Chelsea, Arsenal. So we got Chelsea home, Arsenal away. It's maybe a point or two out of one of those. Like maybe a draw. I'm like that's realistic / optimistic to think we can get 2 draws there.
Is Harry Kane still starting as striker?
For which team?
he's gonna be. That's gonna be his. That's actually gonna be his return to White Hart.
Yeah, on the 18th.
Yeah. So I'm hoping for 1 or more draws out of those 2 games.
Okay.
And I'd be happy.
Right.
And then that gives us the 10 or 11 points out of the first 6, and I think that's about as realistic. And again, that's just speculating, because I mean, my team versus y'all's 2 teams, we could have 7 new players by the time we get around. Like the whole team could be different by the time we start the next season, and we don't even have a manager. So all of my predictions could completely change based on who they hire and who we sign.
Would you like us to give you a little bit of leniency? Don't put it on the sheets of what.
So this is not going on the sheets.
It's the paper of trust and respect, guys. Right. Gotta get the name right here. Paper of trust and respect.
Whatever we're calling it, we're not going to hold your feet to the fire. on these predictions. I think that's fair. That's a fair point. We are very early in the off season. A lot of teams are not doing transfers right now because the Euros are going on, and so that makes things pretty difficult to finalize transfers and finalize what the team is going to look like and whatnot. So definitely understand.
All right. If we're not being held accountable, 12 points, 4 wins. We're beating either Chelsea or Arsenal.
Wow. He
One
tried to come in.
One of them. Oh yeah, I won one of them, not both of them. I'm not stupid.
All right, Brad, do you want to go next? Do you want me to talk about Arsenal?
I can go. I can go because I think I have the toughest first 6 games out of all of us.
Whoa.
We start with Crystal Palace, which should be a pretty easy game for us, though sometimes Crystal Palace gives us some issues. London Derby to start.
Home or away?
A home.
Okay.
Then we are away to Arsenal. Or
You
London
really
Derby.
do. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at it now. Jesus.
I know. So we have Arsenal, which, I mean, we'll probably win. I'm not too worried. Then Liverpool, which is now revitalized. Then Villa, who's probably going to have Emile Smith-Rowe in the midfield. I'm telling you guys, please watch the YouTube. You have to see James's face as I make these comments.
For $20 million.
I know, it's up to 30. It's up to 30.
There is
Less than we're going to get for Tammy.
Zero chance that Emile Smith-Rowe plays for Aston Villa next year.
and then we had our cupcake game against Tottenham. And then it's Pep versus Tuchel for the 4th time.
Is that home or away?
Home.
Okay.
It's our home game.
Why am I getting shotgun blasts?
Because you guys don't have a manager. Like I like it's easy. This is easier than a right-handed layup. Not even like a left-handed layup, which has some difficulty because I'm righty. This is just like a layup on top of this week. Oh my gosh, what is going on with your club? But I digress. I'm not going to bed.
You have issues shooting left-handed layups?
I sometimes.
I will say, yeah, I do too.
It's more difficult than a right-handed layup. Is the point?
Yeah, absolutely.
The left-handed layup is still easy, but like you still got to finish it.
You got to.
Right-handed layup it's just there. It's buckets all day.
Brad, I don't have any trouble finishing. Let me tell you that. No, but speaking of finishing, what the beginning of that schedule tells me is after that, Chelsea are going to dog walk until Boxing Day. Because once you get
You got 4 of the big 6.
Arsenal, Arsenal, Liverpool, Villa, Tottenham, Man City out of the way, and then the 7th game is Southampton. Once they get those out of the way, it is 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, all the way to Christmas.
Well,
Except Leicester and United.
Hold on.
Are the only other ones they got to worry about.
If you guys start going much longer in the season, I'm gonna be salty because I wanted to talk about more of the season than you two did.
Yeah, no, we're not. Because all right, so wait, I haven't given my prediction yet. I haven't given my prediction yet. 16 points.
Wow, that's 2 less than I thought you were going to take.
16?
16 points.
Yeah, I thought he was really going to go at 18 points.
And the draw is either going to be Arsenal or Liverpool. One of those two will be the draw.
Interesting.
There is no way. All right, I will also eat something nasty if Chelsea have 16 points 6 weeks into next season.
Write it on the PTR.
Okay. All right, this is on the sheet of integrity. I'm writing it down.
Wow. Brad wants to be held to the flame on that one.
I'm down for this one.
All right, yeah. Brad's on the other side of this. If they do not have 16 points,
I'll eat a pickle. I hate pickles. I'll eat a pickle.
Well, I love pickles. I'd just eat a pickle. I'd eat a pickle on the podcast just because I like pickles.
Yeah, no, you can put I'll eat a pickle on the podcast.
We'll figure it out. We got the whole summer to figure it out.
You got him written down, Sean, right?
16
points. All right. Well, I think that's bold. I don't think it's outlandish though for the Chelsea we saw at the end of last season. I don't think that's outlandish.
That's what I'm saying, and a much better preseason. But yeah. I think it's time to see this Arsenal schedule.
So Arsenal is kind of a mixed bag. We've got 3 big 6 teams. So those are not easy. 2 of them are at home though. So we start away to Brentford, newly promoted Brentford. Then we have Chelsea at home, followed up by away to City, home for Norwich City, away to Burnley, and then we finish September hosting Tottenham in the North London derby.
So you guys have a tough one too.
Yeah, it's not easy.
That's not easy.
Yeah,
Brentford's going to be a scrappy team in their first Premier League game. They're going to be ready to play.
I think Brentford would be another one that Will could say is another club that has had successes without putting in big dollars.
Guys, there's a slight difference between having success in the top flight of a top 5 European division, also competing in Europe, also doing all these things, competing in the domestic cups, and gaining promotion from.
All I said was scrappy.
He's talking about what I said.
I'm talking about Brad's comment.
Oh, okay.
And I think that there's a huge distinction that needs to be made about competing in the Premier League, competing in Europe, competing in the FA Cup, and getting promotion from League One, League Championship to the Premier League. I think that's a very different story entirely.
Is Arsenal in Europe?
No, Arsenal's not in Europe.
Oh, okay. Just was asking.
Okay.
Arsenal's just a club, man. That's not a country.
So, I agree with you, Sean. I think that Brentford will be scrappy.
They've been scrappy, yeah.
I don't think that Arsenal loses to Brentford.
I think
say that either.
No, probably not. But I think it's going to be by almost Christmas. I think it's going to be a Leeds last year situation, where Leeds just came up and they were a tough out. Like they got beat. They got their chops licked a couple times, but like they were a tough out. Like that was a game every time they played one of the big clubs.
I can't pretend to know enough about Brentford to have that.
I basically watched a little bit.
But if we don't get 3 points at Brentford, it's going to be a incredibly long season.
I agree with you.
Yes,
incredibly long season for Arsenal.
I agree with you. You need the 3 points. I just don't think it's going to be an easy one. Easy 3 points.
I hope it's an easy 3 points. Anyway,
I don't.
Then we have Chelsea at home. That's hit or miss. We did the double on Chelsea last year, and these teams are going to be very different. Arsenal's team is going to be very different coming into this season, I think, than it was last season. So I could see Arsenal winning that game. I did two kind of different point breakdowns when I was looking at these things. I did what my heart tells me, and then I thought about it a little bit more. I did a second thought. So the first time I did it, I gave Arsenal 3 points for a home game against Chelsea. I've revised that to 1 point. Just because Chelsea they're the champions of Europe. They were very good at the end of last season. I think that their manager made their team better than their players are, but then we go away to City. I'm not expecting Arsenal to take any points away at the Etihad. We have a terrible record playing away against City since Pep has come in. Home to Norwich, that's 3 points. Away to Burnley, that's 3 points. And honestly, home North London derby, 3 points. 3 points for Arsenal. So I'm taking. Hold on, let me 3. 4.
I mean, you told. I mean, I said it earlier. Optimistically, we get 1 point out of either Chelsea or Arsenal. So that was optimistic.
I'm taking 13 points.
Do you want it on the sheet of integrity, or you want to be not held accountable? What do you want?
You could put it down. I don't care. That's fine. I'm only going to revise up.
So right now we have the points after 6 games. We have the league leaders. For those on the podcast, I'm rolling my eyes. At 16 points. And then we've got Arsenal at 13, Tottenham at 11.
What's that behind me? What's that over my shoulder?
So
looks like a big flower cup.
For those of you who can't see and are only listening,
vase.
Brad has a picture of the Champions League trophy lift from May. We should probably preface this. We're changing some of our visuals up and giving Brad the ability to put up virtual backgrounds. And
which was a mistake.
He is definitely leaning into this idea.
I'm loving.
I'm regretting the decision immediately.
We might have to have another production meeting about that.
I'm firing our production manager.
Is that me?
I don't know. It's one of us.
I think that would be him.
I think that's me.
If it's anybody, it's James.
I'm firing somebody.
If you want to look behind the curtain, I mean, you can't hire anybody to fire somebody.
True.
Yeah, Amanda's fired.
Why?
All right. Let's talk about the Euros. because that's all we want to talk about for the Premier League right now. We'll get more into the rest of the season and transfers, and if Tottenham hires a manager, we'll talk about that later down the road. But we do have football. We do have football. Football that's being played right now. At this point in time, we are in the middle of the quarterfinals. So when we last spoke about all of the first group stage games has been played, and some of the second group stage games have been played. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prime this a little bit for us. So coming out of Group A, Italy won the group with 9 points. Wales finished second, and Switzerland finished third, but qualified as one of the third place teams. Group B, Belgium qualified with 9 points. Denmark pulled it out at the end and qualified with 3 points. Finland and Russia all had 3 points. That was an incredible last match day in Group B for Denmark to watching both those games go on in tandem was really interesting because I think Belgium was playing Finland. I don't remember, but like Belgium.
Yes.
Belgium went up, and then they got tied, and then Denmark went up, and then Denmark went down, and it was just like it was really fluid. But it was really exciting.
It was an insane.
Yeah. Group C, the Netherlands won their group with 9 points. Austria came in second with 6 points, and the Ukraine qualified as a third place team on 3 points. North Macedonia got 0 points in that group. Group D had England. They qualified first in their group with 7 points. Croatia second with 4 points, and the Czech Republic qualified as a third place team with 4 points as well. Group E, Sweden won this group, which is really intriguing, on 7 points. Spain finished second on 5 points, and no one else qualified from that group. And then Group F, which was the group of death, which was also very fluid on that match day, because there was a point for a very long time where Germany was finishing fourth in this group and not qualifying.
Yes, it was.
But France finished first with 5 points. Germany finished second on 4 points, and Portugal finished third on 4 points and qualified in the third place position. So thinking about this, the last time we were all together, Brad picked Belgium, I picked Italy, and Sean picked Portugal to win. These were our picks going into the tournament. Hold on, Sean. Hold on. We'll get there.
I just wanted to point out that I'll make it really quick.
Okay.
That of the 4 third place teams that made it, 3 of them won.
True.
And the 4th did not.
True.
Which happened
Who's
to be
the 4th?
one I picked. Which happened to be the one.
Yeah. So the round of 16 started on Saturday, Saturday the 26th. Wales got thrashed by Denmark 4-0.
Third place team.
Italy beat Austria 2-1. So my guys are still in it.
Yep.
Then Sunday, the Netherlands lost. After picking up 9 points in the group, lost to the Czech Republic 2-0. That was kind of a bit of a shocking result, I would say.
It was. Yes, it was.
Belgium and Portugal played. So this was kind of a spicy matchup for our selections because Brad picked Belgium and Sean picked Portugal. As a quick aside about Brad's Belgium pick, Brad kept talking about how no one picked the favorites 2 weeks ago. No one picked France, but I need to throw out there that Belgium is the #1 ranked team by FIFA in the world. So
FIFA's always wrong. FIFA's always wrong.
Brad picked the best team in the world and then had the audacity to remind us that no one picked the favorites. Interesting. But Belgium won that game. Belgium outlasted, I would say, Portugal. Portugal looked really threatening in the last 15 or 20 minutes.
Absolutely.
But they just, ball didn't want to go
near that. All over them. Well, that was today or yesterday?
It was yesterday.
Yeah, they were all over them. All over them.
And then that leads to today. Today was an interesting day of football. So the first match, we had Croatia and Spain. Croatia took the lead, right? Did Croatia take the lead?
Okay. Croatia, because it was the
own
keeper.
Goal. It was the own goal.
The keeper missed the ball.
Yep. He touched it. Technically.
But
it rolled right past him. So Croatia took the lead to go up 1-0, and you're kind of like, oh, what's going on here? And then Spain scored 3 goals, and it's 3-1 with 25 minutes left or something like that. And you're like, okay, this tie's over. Croatia comes back to score 2 goals to force extra time.
What was it, the 83rd and the 93rd? It was something crazy like that.
Something like that. Yeah. It was really impressive. And And so that game was a lot of fun. Now, all of our collective boy, Alvaro Morata, he scored in the 100th minute to put Spain up 4-5, and then Spain just wasn't looking back from that point. They scored a fifth to win the game, ultimately 5-3. So they progress. And then the second game today was an interesting game. It was France, according to Brad, the favorites to win this cup, and Switzerland, not the favorites to win this cup. And
third place team.
Very similar to what happened in the Croatia-Spain game. Switzerland takes the lead. They go up 1-0, and then they get a penalty. And you're like, oh man, they're going to get up 2-0. And then Sean's boy Hugo Lloris gets a save. He saves the penalty. I still think you guys should sell him.
He's a legend.
And so 2 minutes later, I kid you not, 2 minutes later, Karim Benzema equalizes. So now it's 1-1. Like 2 minutes after that, Karim Benzema scores a second. And so now it's 2-1. And then Paul Pogba hits quite an incredible shot and scores, makes it 3-1. And you're like, all right, well, this is over, right? It's 3-1. They're not coming back on France.
Not Switzerland.
Not Switzerland. But wait.
There's more.
Granit Xhaka puts the team on his back. He puts the team on his
back. He did
play.
Jokes aside, he did play really well.
Xhaka had a hell of a game.
Yes. Yes.
And they tie the game 3-3, force extra time. And the extra time produced no goals, so we went to a penalty shootout. And a penalty shootout is a crapshoot, and anyone can win at a penalty shootout. And guess what? France did not win. France has been eliminated. Switzerland wins 5-4 on penalties and advances to the round of 8, the quarterfinals. And then that leaves tomorrow, which will be Tuesday, England hosts Germany, and then Sweden play Ukraine to round out the round of 16 matches. What of that 5-minute recap that I just gave you would you guys like to talk about?
I get it. I got a couple things.
Go for it.
So as far as it goes for the game today, I made a note of it, and I wanted to make sure I brought it up tonight. Was that Twellman said the only thing that's ever been relevant that has ever come out of his mouth, because I normally just either put it on mute or don't listen to him.
Taylor Twellman is the absolute worst, in my opinion.
He's awful.
1,000%.
And the only reason we have to listen to him is because he's an American, and we get ESPN.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's awful. Xhaka is more of a hold your breath type of player than a take your breath away type player. And I was like, that's accurate. Because that's how I feel about Eric Dyer. That is exactly right.
To be fair to Xhaka, he had the assist for the third.
But he had
that pass.
He had
was
a great game.
Incredible.
Great game.
He played awesome. I'm slightly sad that we're going to sell him to Roma, because he's been playing really well for us. But I totally understand him wanting to go. Arsenal fans have not been good to Granit Xhaka over the last 2 years, and if he wants to do something else, I would not begrudge him. But he's been really good for us last year, and he's clearly really good for his national team. So it's going to be sad to see him go, but get a couple bucks for him. That'll be helpful.
My other note for today was that Giroud almost Giroud. So when I saw Giroud come on, or when I saw Giroud on the field, I was like, and it's 3-3. I'm like, no, he's going to do what Giroud does. He's going to win this in the last.
He
almost Giroud. I was like, Giroud almost Giroud.
Coleman almost did it too.
Yeah, Kingsley Coleman's
that header
was insane.
My gosh.
Giroud's header was on target. That was going in goal if it wasn't saved.
Summer had a heck of a game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did.
My two things are Dave or Azpilicueta comes in for Spain for the past 2 games, and they knock off 5 goals. And they start winning. It's the Chelsea Magic.
They also conceded 3 goals today.
He plays a right back. He's not playing in the center back position. It's not his fault.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't think our halfback's not part of the defense anymore.
But they're on the right side, so like when you score a goal, it's in the middle.
Oh, yes. This is the high-level football and commentary that you guys tune in for. All right, so
you see his face right there?
All right, Brad.
Continue. And then secondly, we didn't mention whose penalty got saved.
Whose penalty got saved, Brad?
Mbappe. I mentioned that because him and Giroud have had beef, and we always side with Giroud. Giroud's never wrong.
Yeah, Giroud is the alpha striker on this podcast.
He had already hit. He hit second.
Yeah, Giroud.
Yeah,
And he made it.
Giroud already went.
And he scored.
And he made it. He scored.
Absolutely. Yeah. So he had already gone. So you can't say you said that like he took his penalty.
No. I'm saying that no. So like in the French camp, or in the tune-up games, there was some comments made between Giroud and Mbappe where Giroud was like, "Hey, I'm not being fed the ball like Benzema is. Like, I don't understand
why is Giroud out? Why Giroud's always at the center of controversy in the French camp? What is his problem?
Well, I think let's think about it like this. This man worked tirelessly in the 2018 World Cup and was incredibly important in France's victory. He didn't score a single goal, but his link-up play and his back to goal, like, I would argue that he was one of the three most important players for France in that World Cup. And so then you come around, you fast forward to this season, but in the interim, Karim Benzema has sparked some flames between them two. Karim Benzema referred to himself as a Formula One car, whereas Giroud was a go-kart, like in terms of quality. That's what he was trying to say. And then Benzema comes into the team and just takes his position. And I guess maybe during some of the warm-ups, like Brad was saying, Mbappe and Benzema had more link-up than Mbappe and Giroud had. And so he probably took a little issue with that or whatever, and he had some comments in the press. But, like, I don't know. I don't blame the guy. Like, this dude is a perennial winner. He scores goals. He is strong. And he just is discarded everywhere he goes. Since he came to London with Arsenal, like, he didn't necessarily get discarded at Arsenal, but we definitely used him to further our ends, in my opinion. Like, we signed Lacazette, and then we were like, well, we want Aubameyang now, so mess off somewhere else. And then he gets to Chelsea, and like, he plays a little bit, and then he sits the bench for 6 months, and then he plays a little bit, and then he sits the bench for 6 months. And when he comes in and he plays really well. He scores 4 goals in the Champions League. He, is important in your Europa League win. Like, he does important things for teams, and then he just gets tossed to the side. So
he honestly probably should have won Europa League, like, player of the tournament when they gave it to Eden. Giroud definitely deserved that award more. And so, yeah, he just doesn't get the respect he deserves. I think we all agree on that.
The respect from a Tottenham fan is, I don't despise Theo Walcott. I don't despise Lacazette.
But do you despise
I despise Giroud. And that's a compliment because he's killed us for so many daggum years, and there's so many freaking games where we're up or drawing, and he freaking puts every damn time in like the 85th minute the ball's going in the net. Because of who? Giroud. It's obnoxious. It's annoying.
All right.
So, and I despise him.
That's fair.
Yeah, especially when it's happened in both London derbies now.
Absolutely. It's annoying.
I just think the man...
Go away. Retire.
The man doesn't get enough respect, in my opinion.
He should retire somewhere because I'm tired of it.
He's going to go to Milan, apparently. That's word on the street.
Well, good for him. Good for him. So we don't play Milan. We're not in Europe.
You're not in the Champions League.
I can't lose to Giroud again.
A couple of takeaways that I guess... what did Milan qualify? Did they qualify for the Champions League or the Europa League?
Champions League. That's how they could. That's how they bought Tomori from us.
Oh, okay.
Their buyback with their sell-on clause.
Okay. My takeaway from these quarterfinal matches, I'm not overly surprised in any of them. I think the Netherlands result might be the most surprising of all of them, but the way they've been set up by Frank de Boer is like really strange, and like they have not been playing to their strengths, I think. And then you kind of throw that away because they get a red card in like the 55th minute or something like that with De Ligt falling down and handling the ball, which he clearly intentionally tried to handle the ball to break up the play, and he was hoping that it was only going to be a yellow card and not a red card. And maybe it should have been a yellow card. Just I don't know. They claimed it was a denial of a clear goal scoring opportunity, which then makes it a red card. But but so that changes the entire complexion of the second half. I think Portugal losing to Belgium. I thought Portugal played really well in that game.
I knew that was going to be a dogfight.
When Bruno came on for once, and we
made that point. We made that point that because we all were in agreement. Once Bruno came on, that it wasn't him, but him being on the field definitely changed the way they played.
It was Felix. Yeah, Felix that came on. I think he played really well.
Felix played good. Yeah,
he did. I heard his name a lot.
But Belgium did not look very good, in my opinion.
They got the goal and then turtled.
Yeah, they looked like they were willing to just kind of accept the result. They weren't necessarily going for it. I don't
think I heard Kevin De Bruyne's name at all.
He got hurt again.
Yeah,
in like the 48th minute.
Even when he was in, I thought Portugal did a great job of taking him out of the game. Like, I know he got injured by a Portugal player, but when he was playing, he was a ghost. Like, I didn't hear his name at all.
I think he was involved early in the first half. I think he kind of fell away a little bit. That Hazard goal though was really nice. Torgan Hazard's goal in that Belgium game was supremely nice. I don't think Spain's going to get out of the next round. I really don't. They do not look good to me.
Well, you think the Swiss are going to be able to do it? I think Spain's got a cakewalk through this.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Like what they make it through the semis is probably when they first hit competition, depending on who gets Czech Republic, Denmark, right? Because
well, I think
England, Germany game is going through. Spain's probably going through, and whoever wins Belgium, Italy, which is going to be Belgium. But
I don't know, bro. I don't know. We'll see.
Belgium, Spain, England, Germany, and then Czech Republic, Denmark. We haven't talked about Denmark at all, by the way, guys. 4-0, and I think Denmark are they might be the Greece of this year's Euros, where they just.
So it's going to be.
The thing
we talked about it last week, but it's going to be tough to win without their maestro.
Well, who do they have? They have.
They've got Kjær, but they don't have Eriksson.
They have
controlling the game.
They have the Czech Republic in the next round.
So I think they can get through there too.
They could win that game. So we were talking about this when that game was happening on Saturday. We were texting, and I was saying that on paper, if you line up these squads on paper, I think Denmark is a better team than Wales, even without Eriksson. So I'm not necessarily surprised that Denmark won the game. Maybe with the manner, maybe in the manner in which they won the game, how convincing it was. But when you came into this tournament, I think people legitimately thought that Denmark had a legit shot to go far in this competition. Now things get turned upside down on match day 1 with what happened to Eriksson, and so that changes the complete trajectory of this team in this tournament. But if you can mentally get over that, which maybe they have, maybe they haven't, I don't know. They could very easily make it to the semifinals. I think they can beat the Czech Republic, personally.
I think so too.
I think that's going to be a really interesting game. But yeah, I still am not sold by Spain. I'm not sold by Spain. Just not.
I got 2 look forwards.
Okay.
If you want to do that?
Let's do it.
So my look forward, number 1, and my second one's a bone to pick. So
okay,
y'all get ready for that one. The first one. You're gonna find out. That's coming up next after this break. Messages from your local provider. England are going to be better served if they play Saka and Foden. So if they stop playing Sterling, keep Foden in, and play Saka, play Foden on the left of Kane, play Saka on the right of Kane. That is their best chance, because Saka was the reason they won that game against what was it? That was against Czech Republic.
I don't think you're wrong. I think you're, but I don't.
And
Saka played very well, but I don't
understand why Foden was on the bench and Sterling was playing. Foden's better, or has been playing better form.
But
At
Foden would be where Grealish goes. He wouldn't. I don't see.
No, Foden
playing
plays on
left
the
forward.
wings. He plays on either wing.
I don't. Sure, under Pep's system, but I don't see. And also, he plays in Pep's system. Like he's never learned anything else. He's very good in Pep's system.
He's extremely creative, where I don't think Sterling is.
I think.
And
I
so
think
is
you keep
Saka.
Saka, and I think you bring in Sancho over Foden.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Southgate brought on Sancho, and wow, he was a firecracker.
I think
Imagine that. Some dumbasses doing a podcast over in America figured that out before the fucking... Sorry for cussing, but before the manager of the damn English national team.
I don't understand this. Yeah, I really don't.
I don't understand like the hate that Raheem Sterling is getting here. He's scored.
I just don't think he's played well.
He's scored.
He's the only one that scored the goals.
Maybe he should play in front of Kane. He's the only one that scored.
I've watched all 3 of their games. Never once have I been like, wow, Raheem Sterling's really making a difference. Has he happened to score the goals? Sure. He's not making an impact on the game other than that. But other than the ball last touched his foot, like it could have been literally anybody else that could have scored those. It's not like it was world-beating goals.
I agree. I think the goal against the Czech Republic was created and facilitated 100% by Saka. Like, but if Sterling's not making that run, not everyone's making the run that he makes. I don't know. I'm not trying to say that he's some like supreme football intellect.
Or that one was a head. Sorry, so it was his head or foot. It just last touched the ball before it went in.
If any of us 3 were there, I would have scored that goal. You two, I have no faith. I have no faith that you guys would have scored the goal. I have faith that I would have scored the goal.
I couldn't have made the run.
It could have been anybody. Okay. Just be there.
But like, he's the only one that scored. You can't drop him.
Okay.
Yes.
But like,
do you want to win the Euros, or do you want to be friendly? Do you want to have Little Debbie's and Capri Suns after? You want to get a participation award, or do you want to win the trophy?
This is an incredible take.
Get him out of here.
I don't understand how Sancho's not been playing at all.
I feel like there has to be some sort of
Premier League bias.
No,
yes, I agree.
I think that there's some sort of like clash of personalities.
It has to be. There's no Yeah, you're right. It has to be an argument.
Like someone did something. Someone disagrees with something that's going on.
I hadn't thought about that, but like you're right. Maybe like I thought about Southgate Sancho. It could be player like Sancho and X don't play well together.
Sancho and Kane maybe or
yeah.
Well, he also hasn't played anybody outside of the Premier League, has he? He's not started a single player outside of the Premier League.
Sancho came on last game.
Right, but hasn't started. And most of them not in the top 6.
I didn't even look at their starting.
If you look at the clubs, besides
playing, right?
Correct, you've had
Grealish. He played the first game.
You've had like Grealish came in this game for the first time, and Declan and Phillips have been the only 2 outside of Tottenham, Arsenal's, out of the top 6.
Did you just put Arsenal in the top 6?
Well,
it is.
It's to be
traditionally.
I know.
To be fair, looking at their entire team,
not next year.
Bellingham has played in all 3 games. He's coming on as a sub all 3 games.
Okay, but I'm not talking about subs. I'm talking about starting players outside of the top 6 clubs.
So now that I'm looking at it, the only 2 players, you say Premier League bias, the only 2 players that are not in the Premier League are Jadon Sancho and Jude Bellingham.
And Trippier.
Oh, Trippier started the first game.
I mean,
so we've had 1.
To be fair, guys, the Premier League is the best league in the world, right? So,
but also but then you can take it a step further and be like, out of the top 6 clubs, if you take away Declan and Phillips, nobody else has really started. I mean, Mings came in 1 game, I guess, but like
Mings
top
started.
6 bias is showing. Yeah, Mings started, but that's because Maguire was injured, so it was because of injury.
I thought Mings played great, and I didn't understand why Maguire was in there. Yeah, I don't know why Maguire was back in there.
Mings and White starting personally.
I think Mings and Stones is their best option, easily.
I'm a fan of Ben White.
All right,
I think that's going to be a good signing for.
I think
where the club is going to.
My bone to pick.
Okay.
With you, Brad.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Hazard is the captain.
Yes.
Why is he not? For those not on our text chain, which is literally everybody watching, we had a pretty heated argument about Eden Hazard being the captain of Belgium. He's not the damn he shouldn't be the damn captain of Belgium.
He's been the captain of Belgium.
There's literally pop filter back over here. I can name six people on the Belgian team that should be captain in front of Eden Hazard.
Okay, let's go.
And I will, in order. Kevin De Bruyne, Alderweireld, Jan Vertonghen, Thomas Vermaelen, Lukaku.
Don't say the snake. Take the snake down.
Courtois. That's 6.
Okay, the only arguments.
And
the
then
only
Hazard.
person.
And then his brother.
The only person you can make the argument for would be De Bruyne. That one I will accept. Lukaku gave him the armband. Eden Hazard came in off of the bench, and Lukaku went over and handed him the armband. That's Lukaku saying that Eden should be the captain. Because Eden was like, no, I don't want it. And he's like forced him to take it.
It might be showing that Eden Hazard is the captain, has been named the captain of the Belgian national team, and Lukaku is deferring to him because I think that's more symbolic than necessarily like anything else. But
yeah, I agree.
Right, but how?
So let me think about it like this. I think a captain should be someone who is a field general on the pitch and is telling everyone what they should be doing at all times and should be. Yep. And this is why Harry Kane is a terrible captain, because Harry Kane is not.
I also agree with that.
Is not someone who is going to be like marshaling his troops. This is why Granit Xhaka is an amazing captain. And Granit Xhaka is out there marshaling his troops, telling people where to go, and making sure people are engaged and doing what they're supposed to be doing. I don't think that Eden Hazard is the type of player that has that mentality. I don't know if Lukaku does either. I don't know if Kevin De Bruyne does either. So like I'm not sure. I'm not making an argument for one player over the other, but I don't know. When I look at Eden Hazard, I don't see someone who is going to be like, captaining his troops in battle. Like that's not something I see
this time around. But if you watch the last World Cup, he was definitely much more active, much more of a force.
He was about 30 pounds lighter back then too.
Well, he was also 3 ankle breaks ago too. So like his injury problem. I'm not. Listen, like I think now it's more of a symbolic thing that Eden gets it. But like to tell me that Eden Hazard does not deserve to be the captain of Belgium, that means you just haven't watched soccer.
He should be 7th in line.
You're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. If you think Courtois is a better captain than him, you're crazy. If you think Alderweireld, Vermaelen, or Vertonghen all deserve that captain armband over him, you're crazy. Because without Eden Hazard, Belgium isn't a competitive team over the past few years. You're absolutely crazy.
Yeah,
the only argument that you have is De Bruyne. De Bruyne and Eden Hazard have been the 2 most important players for Belgium on any given day before Eden's injuries.
So to James's point about Harry Kane, go ahead.
That's why your argument is false. Like the only one you could say is De Bruyne over Eden. That's the only one I'll accept. The rest, you're garbo. But
Thomas Vermaelen. To James's point, looking at the team when you brought up Kane being captain, I think he has to be. I think he's just captain by default.
Well,
Hugo normally like
Hugo Lloris is the captain. Technically,
no. He's the captain of England.
Oh, okay. Oh, Harry Kane.
He's England's captain. Yes, he's the England captain. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, I think he's just it by default because so if you want a field general, you're going to give it to Jack Grealish, Declan Rice, Calvin Phillips, John Stones, Harry Maguire. Which one are you giving it to?
Jordan Henderson, captain of Liverpool Football Club.
He's not on the field. Yes, if Jordan Henderson comes on the field, he is the captain. I agree with that. But he hasn't been on the field,
which is crazy to me. But
Declan, not this time around, but the next World Cup cycle, Declan's the captain. 100%.
Like I was thinking while you were talking about, like, I'm looking at the team. I was like, it's probably either, if it wasn't Kane, it would be Declan Rice or John Stones. But both of them are kind of young. I don't know if they're ready for that.
Yeah, certainly
to like be the field general. Go ahead.
I mean, I think Declan's proven it at West Ham this year, though.
Was he the captain for West Ham though?
Yes.
I don't even know. Yeah, I don't remember.
I can't definitively speak to that.
Yeah.
But I don't
And then the other ones that I didn't name were Sterling, Saka, Kyle Walker, Luke Shaw, Pickford, and I don't think you're picking any of those 5.
Nah, I don't think Saka's like 20 years old. He's not.
Yeah, he's a baby.
He's not he's not a captain yet. And I don't know.
Kyle Walker's the only one with experience.
Yeah, and you're not putting him as it.
I could see Kyle Walker doing it. I don't know. I don't know. But to be honest, like the captain is as much a like an honorific title these days as it is like a functional title. And so like to your point that like maybe Harry Kane is captain by default, that might be a thing. But why not give it to the Fridge? The Fridge is the captain of Manchester United. Let him captain the English national team. Sean, I think his eyes rolled into next week.
Yeah. The eye roll was like, I think our podcast viewers can hear your eye roll there.
I can't believe they started him over Mings. I can't believe they played him in general.
He's Harry Maguire, man. But I think that's about all we had for tonight. Of course, we'll kind of give you guys a little update on what's coming up tomorrow, of course, which is Tuesday. We'll have England hosting Germany and then Sweden hosting Ukraine before the quarterfinals kick off this upcoming weekend, which will take place on Friday and Saturday. Then the semifinals are a week from today, essentially. The finals will be next 2 weekends from now. So by the time we get back together, the Euros will be over. And we will have a breakdown of the Euros. Maybe we will have some new transfer spiciness to talk about. Who knows? Because like a lot of teams are home from the Euros now. The players can go fly and do physicals and whatnot, and so maybe we'll have a little bit more transfer things to talk about. Of course, we'll talk more about the Premier League schedule. We'll see. We'll talk about it. If you guys have any opinions,
we're going to be talking about European champions, the Fighting Christian Eriksens. The Danish are going to win now that Portugal are out. I'm Denmark all the way.
So if you guys have any thoughts or opinions on what you guys would like to hear us talk about, please let us know. And as always, if you're on YouTube, comment, subscribe, share it with a friend. If you're on one of our podcast listening sites, subscribe and rate it with 5 stars for us so that Sean doesn't inconvenience you with his thoughts.
Slightly inconvenienced.
As always, the man up top with me here is at KSBradG. That's our Chelsea supporter. Hit him up on Twitter. Down below me, and Brad is at Whiteheart_Sean. He is our Tottenham supporter. We are collectively at Red Card Radio, and I'm at James Tiffany on Twitter. So feel free to reach out to us, talk with us, whatever.
But Sean is at Whiteheart Sean, not Brad. Sean is at Whiteheart.
Whiteheart_. Did I say Whiteheart_Brad?
No, you said Brad is at Whiteheart_Sean. And I want the hate tweets to go to the right person at Whiteheart_Sean.
Yeah, bring all your tweets.
I mean, honestly, guys, if you're on your YouTube, you can see the names on our video. I mess up words, I guess, but yeah, hit us up on social media. We look forward to hearing from you, and we won't be back next week, but in 2 weeks from now, will be our next episode. Really appreciate it. Y'all have a good evening.